Hello, and thank you so much for joining me today for this very important session on relationships. Today, we'll continue what I've started a couple of weeks already, and we'll talk about love and relationships. Specifically, today, we will focus on foundation of a healthy relationship. So let's start by sharing the PowerPoints. Like I said, today we'll focus on the foundation of a healthy relationship and what it takes. So we will talk about the essential elements that form a foundation of fulfilling and supportive partnership, whether you are in an existing relationship and you just want to strengthen up those relationships that you have, or if you're learning, if you want to learn in order to have future connections. I am very thrilled of having you here today and joining me on this session. So first, I want to start by introducing you to what it means to have a healthy relationship. At its core, a healthy relationship is built on love, communication, respect, and understanding. These are elements that create a strong foundation that support both partners and navigates life challenges and celebrate the joys together. Let's focus on the characteristics or the main characteristics of a healthy relationship. So at its first is mutual respect. Both partners respect each other's individuality and boundaries. This means they value each other's opinions, feelings, and needs without judgment. Open communication is another one, and I'll cover open communication in a little bit as well, but it's honest and open communication, which is at the heart of a healthy relationship. Both partners feel comfortable expressing their thoughts and feelings and listen actively to one another. We talked about communication before. Active listening always comes back to discuss communication. Trust is the foundation of a strong relationship. It involves being reliable, honest, maintaining confidentiality. Trust allows both partners to feel secure and supported. Support also is important in a healthy relationship. That's when partners support each other and each other's goals, dreams, personal growth. They celebrate successes and provide comfort during challenges. Equality is also important in a healthy relationship. Both partners have an equal say in a relationship. Decisions are made together and power dynamics are balanced, ensuring that neither partner feel dominated or controlled. Boundaries, a healthy relationship respect personal boundaries. Both partners are aware of the honest, both partners are aware and honor each other limits. Which actually helps maintain individuality and prevent resentment. Empathy and understanding, we talked about empathy before. It's when the partners show empathy and try to understand the other person's perspective, even when they disagree. This fosters much deeper emotional connection and mutual compassion between the partners. Now, on the other side, what is an unhealthy relationship, and how do you identify that a relationship is unhealthy? So these are some of the negative traits of an unhealthy relationship. First of all, disrespect. One or both partners disregard the other's feelings, opinions, or boundaries. It leads to a lack of mutual respect. Poor communication. Unhealthy relationships often involve poor communication, which is where one or both partners are unwilling or unable to express themselves openly or listen effectively. Lack of trust. Trust is an important issue, and it can manifest as jealousy, dishonesty, and undermining the relationship stability and security. Control. One partner may try to control the other behavior, decision, action, the people that person interact with. All of this is a control and an imbalance of powers. Dependence. Unhealthy relationships can become codependent when one or more or even both partners rely excessively on the other person for emotion, physical, financial support, either one of them. Ignoring boundaries. Personal boundaries are often ignored and disrespected, which can lead to a feeling of violation and suffocation. Neglect and abuse, neglecting a partner's need, or engaging in any form of abuse, which could be emotional, physical, or even verbal. It is a clear sign of an unhealthy relationship. So understanding these characteristics help us strive for a positive trait and address any negative patterns that may arise. Remember, healthy relationships require ongoing effort and commitment from both partners. If you recognize those elements, we can work towards building stronger, more fulfilling connections. So before I start, I want to talk about the different types of love. And all of these type of love can apply to one relationship, or you can find different relationships that have those different type of loves. Love is really multifaceted emotion. It can manifest in so many different forms, and each plays a unique role in our relationship. Again, it could be in the same relationship, you can manifest several types of loves, or love that is exhibited differently for the different type of relationships. So understanding the different type of love helps us appreciate the diverse ways that we can connect to the other person and foster so much deeper and more meaningful relationship. All of these words, which I'm not even sure if you heard of them, they are Greek words, so I'm sorry if I mispronounced them. Let's start with eros. Eros comes from erotic, right? That is often the type of love that includes passion, intense romantic feeling. And the role of that is to, usually in an early stage of a romantic relationship, it creates a strong bond and emotional excitement that lays a foundation for a deeper connection. Philia is another type of love, and that's more of a friendship, brotherhood type of love, which refers to a deep platonic love between friends. It is providing emotional support and companionship. And if you see that in a romantic relationship, it actually fosters a strong relationship that can enhance intimacy and trust. Storge is a family love. This is the love that you feel towards a family member. It could be a mother to a child to a mother, between siblings, but it also could be within a relationship when you have that connection, care, and loyalty towards each other. Agape is a selfless, unconditional love that one feels, and the role of it is foster compassion, empathy, and altruism. In a relationship, it encourages the partners to support each other selflessly, and the key word here is really unconditional, promoting forgiveness and understanding. The Ludos is a more playful type of love. That's what keeps the relationship, any relationship, more lively and enjoyable. It helps partners bond through shared laughters and playful interactions. The pragma, that type of love is a practical love that ensures based of mutual respect. It sustains long-term relationships through mutual understanding and shared values. It emphasizes practicality and long-term comparability. Philotia, hope I pronounced it correctly. Philotia is essential to maintain personal well-being. It's actually self-love. So self-love is very important for well-being and self-esteem, especially in relationship. If one cannot love themselves, they cannot love someone else. So self-love is important to ensure that the individual maintains their own identity and emotional health, which actually supports balanced a partnership. So when you understand those different type of love, it helps you recognize the various ways that you can connect with others and the unique roles that each form of love plays in every relationship. Every relationship may have a specific type of love that unique to that relationship. Now let's talk about commitment and partnership. Commitment and partnership are foundational elements of a strong and enduring relationship. When you understand what it means to be committed, supportive partnership, it helps build a relationships it helps build relationships that are resilient, fulfilling, and mutually supportive. So let's first talk about commitment and the elements of commitment. So commitment in a relationship goes way beyond just someone is with someone else. It goes beyond the involvement of a relationship. So first, it's the dedication. Both partners are devoted to making the relationship work. This includes investing time. Time is actually the most expensive thing somebody can give to someone else, even though it's free to you. Because if you give time to someone, it just shows a way that you love. And this is really the way that you see somebody loves you, when they give you their time, energy, and resources in order to strengthen a bond. Exclusivity is very important for commitment. In many romantic relationships, commitment involves exclusivity, which means both partners agree to be monogamous and focus only on each other. Longevity, commitment in a long-term decision. It involves planning a future together or working towards a shared goal or a dream. And there are some elements that support partnership. For example, mutual support. Both partners provide emotional, physical, practical support to each other. This involves being there for one another during difficult times and celebrating the successes together. Equality. A healthy partnership is balanced when both partners having equal say in decisions and responsibilities. There is no imbalance of powers or control. Partners also share responsibilities, whether it's managing household chores, finance planning, or even parenting. This fosters a sense of teamwork, and it's very important for the corporation of supportive partnership. Partners make an effort to understand each other is also very important. That's empathy and understanding, because when you understand feelings and thoughts and perspective, it shows empathy and compassion, which strengthen emotional connection. And lastly, shared values and goals. Partners often have common values and long-term goals. This alignment helps work towards a shared future and make decisions that benefit both individuals in the relationship and the relationship as a whole. So when you are committed and supportive in a partnership, that means more than just being together. It's about building a relationship based on dedication, mutual support, equality, and shared goals. If you understand and embrace these elements of a partnership and a relationship, you can create partnerships that are resilient, fulfilling, and deeply connected. So why is it so important? Why is it so crucial? When you build those connections and you communicate accurately, you build trust with the partners. It also helps you, correct communication also helps you resolve conflicts. Open communication always helps partner address and resolve conflicts constructively, and it allows for understanding different perspectives and finding mutually accepted solutions. It fosters intimacy. When you communicate in a relationship and you're sharing thoughts and feelings and experiences, it strengthens the emotional intimacy and deepens the connection between partners and enhances their mutual understanding. Well-communicated individuals also prevent misunderstandings. Clear communication reduces the risk of misunderstanding and misinterpretation, which can lead to unnecessary conflicts. And through communication, partners can express their needs and offer support to each other, fostering a sense of partnership and teamwork. Active listening is very important for communication, and one of the best effective communication ways is through active listening. And why is it so important? First of all, when you have active listening, you give full attention. You make eye contact, you pull away from distractions, you focus entirely on your partner. And that is actually one of the love languages that I presented last week. It shows empathy. When you try to understand your partner's feelings and perspective and reflect back on what you've heard by paraphrasing or summarizing, that is really active listening. You are showing to the partner that you've heard them, and you're also giving them the understanding of what you have understood from what they said. A lot of nonverbal cues also communicate during communication, like when you nod, when you smile, when you use your body language, it shows that you are actually engaged in the conversation and interested in what the partner has to say. During the conversation, during the communication, avoid the interruption. Let your partner speak without interruption. Wait for them to finish before responding. And encourage your partner to elaborate. If you don't understand something, ask a question that is open-ended, not just a yes or a no question, but something that is more engaging and requiring more understanding. So how can you do that effectively? So first of all, use the I statement. When you express your feeling, you need to show your perspective. So don't say you made me feel or you always, whatever it is. Say I feel hurt when you do this and that. That takes the blame away from the other person, which actually makes more connection. Be specific. Clarity is important. So clearly state what you need and how you feel. Don't expect the other person to understand what you need. Avoid vague statements and provide concrete examples when possible. If you say something was causing you to get hurt, be specific. What exactly was that? Was that the word that was told? Was that an action? Like, be very, very specific. Maintain calm and respectful tone, even when discussing difficult or emotional topics. This helps preventing escalation and keeps conversation more productive. So when doing all that, always remember that the other person wants to be heard first. And when they want to be heard, they want to make sure that you listen to them fully, but also want to hear your feedback. So be open to your partner's response. And if you really want to hear their feedback, adjust your approach as needed. Be willing to do so. And through understanding that effective communication is a two-way street, right? You have to be heard, but also hear. Be honest, share your true feelings without actually fear or judgment. So I can suggest an activity that you can do for expressing your effective expression. Think of a recent situation where you needed to express your feeling or needed to say something to your partner that you needed him to do, him or her. Write down how you would use the I statement and specific language to communicate clearly and respectfully. Share your example with me. Write down a message. I would love to hear what you would try to change as you speak. Practice this, exercise this. When you have a situation, when you know you're going to speak with your partner, do it beforehand. Write down what you want to say, read it to yourself, and everywhere you see a you statement, change it to an I statement. So instead of saying you hurt me when you did that, you can say I felt hurt. Because the way you feel is not necessarily the way the person wanted you to feel. So when you master the skill of active listening and effective expression, you can really significantly improve your communication with your partner. And this only helps resolve conflicts and build trust by fostering this deep intimacy and understanding. So remember, good communication is an ongoing practice. It's something that you have to do, and it's a key ingredient of any successful relationship. Trust and respect is also very important. It requires work. In order for you to trust someone, you got to feel emotionally secure. You have to understand that the partner is really telling you or making you feel the way that you want to be trusted and respected. Boundaries are very important. Boundaries is how you respect yourself with your boundaries, but also respecting with the other person's boundaries. So it's really crucial for a few reasons. Why do we need boundaries? So first of all, it maintains your individuality. Boundaries allow each partner to maintain their sense of self without their relationship. It helps protect personal interests, values, and goals. It also promotes self-respect. When you set boundaries, It is an act of self-care and self-respect. It shows that you value your own needs and your own well-being. Try to prevent resentment. Clear boundaries really do help in that sense. It prevents the feeling of resentment and frustration by ensuring that your limits are respected and your needs are met. Boundaries create a framework for mutual respect. When both partners honor each other's limits, it fosters a respectful and supportive environment. Boundaries encourage open and honest communication about personal needs and expectations, which strengthen the relationship. So be flexible to recognize those boundaries, and boundaries may evolve over time. So be open to discuss and adjust them in the relationship as the relationship grows. Think of boundaries of your partner and think about the boundaries that the partner have set that may be challenging to respect, and reflect on how you feel, and speak to your partner about this and see how you can better honor those boundaries going forward. How do we communicate boundaries? Well, first of all, it's very important to communicate the boundaries. Be clear and specific on what you say. Clearly articulate your boundaries. Make sure that you provide specific examples as needed, and avoid a vague statement that can be very misunderstood. Like I mentioned before, use the I statement. When you express your boundaries, use I to avoid any sounding of accusation. For example, I need some time alone to recharge, instead of you are always around. Stay calm and respectful when you communicate your boundaries. Avoid using confrontational or defensive tone. Consistently reinforce your boundaries and regularly communicate your limits to make sure that those boundaries are honest and adhered to. And be open to your partner response and feedback and communication, because remember, it's a two-way street. So think of a boundary that is important to you but hasn't been clearly communicated to your partner. Write it down. Write it down, and how you would express that boundary to your partner using the tips that I just provided to you. Practice this with your partner and discuss how you feel through a communication. When you set and respect boundaries, it's a foundation to maintain healthy relationship. When you clearly define the personal limit that you have, and you protect your individuality and self-respect, you respect each other, and those boundaries foster mutual respect and understanding. And of course, as well as effective communication to ensure that these boundaries are honored. Remember, boundaries are an ongoing conversation that requires openness, respect, and flexibility. By understanding everything that I've just mentioned and implementing these foundation elements, you can create a strong and resilient relationship built on mutual respect, trust, and effective communication. These skills will help you navigate challenges and deepen your connections with your partner over time. Commit to practice one communication skill or one boundary through setting just the technique that we discussed today. Write it down in your notes and try to practice those techniques as you go. There's something I read a couple of days ago that I just want to read to you guys before we finish. The key to succeed in a relationship is not finding the right person. It's learning to love the person you find. Sustaining love is not passive or spontaneous experience. You have to work on it day in, day out. It takes time, effort, and energy. And most importantly, it demands wisdom. You have to know what to do to make it work. Make no mistakes about it. Love is not a mystery. There are specific things you can do with or without your partner, just as they are physical laws of universe. There are also laws for a relationship. If you know how to apply these laws, the results are predictable. Love is therefore a decision, not a feeling. Remember this: God determines who walks into your life. It is up to you to decide who you will let walk away, who you let stay, and who you refuse to let go. The key to succeed in a relationship is not finding the right person. It's learning to love the person you found. And I hope that helps you understand that love is really, or any relationship, is really an ongoing work. Nothing is perfect until you make it perfect. And so I really appreciate your presence today, and thank you so much for listening to this workshop. I hope it helps you. Please let me know how you feel. Share this video, comment below, and until our educational journey crosses again, always remember that learning is a gateway to a bright future. It was my pleasure being here with you today, and I will see you again next week for another episode.